Hey, welcome to Our American Travel. I'm Al, and this is
Melanie.
And in this episode, we're going to talk about the Mississippi Military Museum.
Yes, at Fort Shelby.
Yeah, it's at Camp Shelby.
Camp Shelby, sorry.
Which is like an Army Reserve, National Guard training base, real active during World War II, and you'll see some of that.
Close to Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Yeah, you'll see some of that in the museum, just south of Hattiesburg, as she said. And so we were there for a family reunion, and we just thought we'd check it out. And it was really, really well done.
It really was.
I had really low expectations, and it exceeded it.
It did. I thought it was very well done. I agree.
And so
it was all we could really see in Hattiesburg because it was so daggum hot.
Yeah, it was hot, and our time was kind of limited. To be honest,
spent time with family,
and we enjoyed where we were staying, so we kind of wanted to chill out when we got a chance. So, anyway, hope you enjoy this episode.
Yes, we do. We hope you enjoy. Okay, the Mississippi Armed Forces Museum is closed on Sundays and Mondays, but is open Tuesday through Friday, 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and it's free.
It's a good price.
That is a good price. Definitely worth it. Because it is a military installation, you do have to follow procedures for any Camp Shelby visitor if you're not in the military. So anybody over 16 that doesn't have a military ID has to go to the visitor center to register. And to register, you just need one of the following. What do you think it is?
It's probably a government-issued ID.
Yeah, so driver's license, ID card, passport, or a veteran's health ID card.
Check.
And as you can tell, we took pictures, but it does say there's no flash photography.
Yeah, we took a lot of pictures inside, and you can see it ranges all across the military spectrum from World War I, really.
Actually, no, it says it's from the early 19th century to the present.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the website. So,
it talks a little bit about some of the early 19th century, but then the Camp Shelby itself, as it was established around World War I think, and it's been a training base for a lot of Mississippi soldiers.
They do have some exhibits from early Mississippi history from 1812 to 1916, and then everything is divided basically by time period based on
different conflicts that we were involved in, like World War I, and then kind of a period in between the war, what was going on at Camp Shelby, and then World War II, and then the Cold War, and
Korean War.
Well, the Korean War and then the Cold War. They kind of ran together, so kind of hard to say. And then the Vietnam War, certainly. And then the Persian Gulf War. And then, of course, there's a display which honors some of the folks from 9/11. And we happen to know one of the wife of one of the folks that were killed in 9/11. He was honored there because he's from Mississippi. So anyway,
I didn't know.
You'll see a picture here in just a second of that. So it was a great place. Hey, at the end here, we're just going to show some video of outside of all the different things they have on site there. Hope you enjoy.
The CH-54 cargo heavy lift helicopter was used. It was the largest helicopter at the time. It's kind of like a crane. It recovered a bunch of aircraft, during the Vietnam War, and so pretty powerful bird there. And then you can see these Hueys, which really became popular in Vietnam. Nicknamed the Huey, introduces the concept of air mobility warfare, flying truck. And then this is, if I'm not mistaken, it's a Cobra, which is an mostly air-to-ground type anti-tank chopper, replaced by the Apache, but pretty capable for its day in terms of air-to-ground. I'm not an expert on this. I was in the military for a while. AH-1 Cobra attack helicopter, close air support, with the Gatling guns, and then ability to take out some tanks. And this is an Overwatch bird. A lot of observation, OH6 light observation chopper. They send spotters up and you know, to gather battlefield intelligence, and could get some enemy locations and so forth, spot for artillery, things like that. And this is a little more modern warfare here, so we're going kind of backwards by the tanks. This is an M1 main battle tank. When I first got to Germany back in 1984, our unit already had these, and some of the other units were just getting these. Named after Creighton Abrams. It so happened that his son was our division artillery commander later. So Creighton Abrams Jr., I believe. And this is the old M60, you know, kind of named the Patton M60. It was, you know, kind of came out, you know, after, you know, of course Patton was an armored officer prior to becoming general, and believed heavily in the armor, and so they named a lot of things after his piece. This is a combat engineer vehicle, clear and deploy things and deploy bridges, and just, you know, an all-purpose vehicle. M103A2 tank. Military, U.S. Marine Corps until 1974, and so, and this over here is the M48 Patton medium tank. It was third tank to be named for General Patton. 46, 47, 48, and then of course the M60. So, you know, Patton's the armor guy. Here's the 47. So lots of different capabilities. And the M41 Bulldog light tank. So not as big as some of the other pieces. And then M26 Pershing tank, 1944. So one of the early tanks. It was kind of the, as I remember, it's the tank that the armor emblem was designed into the armor emblem. This is the old Sherman tank. I think it, you know, early in the war, maybe 1942, kind of entered into service, and lots of development of tanks and armored personnel carriers went on during World War II. This is the M2A2 of 1936. Well, here we are at the Mississippi Armed Forces Museum. It's on the Camp Shelby, which is a, I guess, Army Reserve, Army National Guard training base here just south of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You see some of the helicopters here over to the left, and we'll come back by those on the way through the walk. So they have several different tanks and armored personnel carriers, and some howitzers up there, which are you know, of interest to me. I was an old artillery officer, and there's some, of course, some tanks and some maybe some howitzers over here as well. So very cool. Maybe we can get my wife to take some pictures of some of this. It'd be better than the video. This is a M1860 Trubia cannon. Wow. And departed Spain in the late 1800s aboard a wooden sailing ship. It's amazing. A lovely bride walking across, waving at us, making sure we know what we're doing. This is a Mohawk Observational Aircraft, OV-1. Built as a multi-sensor tactical observation and reconnaissance aircraft. According to 1965 Department of Defense rule, the Army was forbidden to arm any of their flex-wing aircraft. However, it had the capability to carry 50 caliber machine guns. Here to the right is a ZSU 23-4 Shifka self-propelled anti-aircraft gun. So a little air defense artillery here. Came here at the end of the Gulf War after being used, I guess. All you ADA guys know a lot more about that than I do. And then it's a BMP-1 mechanized infantry. This was a Russian, obviously a Russian vehicle, and it's a 155 towed howitzer, M114, built in 1940. I guess replaced by the 1908 maybe later. So it's a 155, kind of a short barrel. And then this is a MTLB armored personnel carrier, also of Russian origin, not American. So we're going to walk up here toward the artillery, other artillery section up here. Artillery rounds here, and not these. Anyway, 16-inch rounds, mostly fired off battleships. This is, it's got long trails there. It's I'm sure it's a 155. It's actually
1917 GPF.
Yeah.
World War I.
Yeah, it came during World War I. It's German, a German piece, I would suppose. The First World War, which was known the war to end all wars. You know, Prussian, whatever.
French and American armed forces.
Ah.
Manufactured by the Saint-Germain Company, which I'm assuming.
I'm wrong. It's actually manufactured by the French,
And
and
it was used to counter battery fire.
it's for counter battery fire along the coastal artillery. Very interesting. And then we have this little snub nose here. It's used in the World War One.
German. Oh no, it says
It's a French Schneider howitzer, adopted by the U.S. Army as the M1918. So also used by the American Army, and particularly in World War I. And these are some smaller pieces. Probably that one over there could be airdropped. This is the M2 howitzer, most widely produced in the Western Hemisphere. More than 60 other nations used it. Saw service throughout the entire Vietnam War. The M101, so a lot of light infantry used it, and probably could be airdropped if need be. And this is an anti-tank gun, so they could direct fire at tanks in World War One, and then this is obviously World War II. They're showing down here on the picture. So M1 was derived from the British 6-pounder anti-tank gun. Wow, lots of history here. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode of Our American Travel when we visited the Mississippi Military History, did I say that right, Museum?
I don't know if it's history, but it is history.
Military Museum. Yeah, it was so good, and hope you enjoyed it. And as always, if you would like and subscribe and hit the notification bell.
That would be awesome.
You're supposed to say ding.
Okay, so hit the notification bell. Ding! As always. Remember,
it's all about the journey.
To infinity and beyond.
We forgot.
Well rehearsed.
Yeah, we forgot.